Hello, and welcome to a new episode with your host, Vinney Chopra. I'm so excited to have you here as we dive deep into the world of real estate investing, syndications, abundance mindset, and building generational wealth. We are excited to be in the top 1.5% of the real estate podcasts. Got number 11 actually out of top 50 real estate syndication podcasts. Thanks to you. Each episode, we bring powerful insights, expert guests, and actionable strategies to help you take your investing game to the next level. Whether you are a seasoned investor or just getting started, if you love what you hear, please take a moment to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media so that we can never miss an episode. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content with more people like you. Now let's jump into today's episode. Thank you. Hi there, guys. Vinney Chopra here. I've got great guest in the studio. Deekron is here from New York. I'm in San Francisco, as you all know, but it's going to be fantastic interview. I hope you're ready. Our guest is an MBA, like me. I'm also an MBA, an executive coach who helps high achievers transform their mind and body and the life. So that's exactly what I also talk about. So they are maximizing success without sacrificing our health, and our fulfillment should be at the peak, and also our relationships. So he's the creator of Healthy High Performer Method. We're going to dig into that today, and best-selling author of The 9 Shifts. So let's welcome Deekron. Hi, Deekron. Nice to have you.
Hello, Vinny. Thanks for having me. I love the energy, and I'm excited to create something special for your listeners.
Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got transformed into this beautiful coach and mentor for so many people.
Sure, Vinny. Thank you. So my story, I guess you can say, was one of growing up with a father who was a disciplinarian. So my dad was a professional rugby player in Romania. And so that's a tough sport.
Yes.
So you got to be able to really be on point when you're playing a sport like that. And so when we moved to the United States, when we emigrated, he really instilled the importance of certain values and certain things about how he wanted us to live, how he wanted us to grow. It was like, you had to exercise, you had to move your body, you had to eat, you had to sleep at a good time, you had to have structure and routines and manners and education. All these things were important, and we could never treat them as optional, because if we did, there would be consequences. And my brother and I hated that growing up, all the rules, all the pressure, but it really made us into, I would say, high functioning adults. And part of what inspired me to become a coach was to pay that forward, to pay forward the gift of my own upbringing, and also to pay forward another gift I received in my mid-30s, which is when I was transitioning from corporate America to entrepreneurship, which had been my dream. I became very stuck, feeling very anxious. I started feeling directionless. I was not making progress with my business ideas. A lot of time writing and perfecting business plans. It's not that I didn't have the knowledge. I had an MBA, I had worked in corporate America, but I was not moving forward, and I didn't know why. And I was wasting time, I was wasting money, getting frustrated more and more every day, and I didn't know what was under it. So I started seeking answers. And luckily at the time, my cousin was doing some transformation work here in New York City. And she introduced me to the courses. At first I was like, I don't think I need it. But the more stuck I felt, the more I said, I need to try something. And she raved about it. So I started going down this path of inner work, transformation work, growth, understanding myself and healing, and understanding how my past had shaped me, the fears that were running me, the patterns that I was stuck with that I didn't know about from a young age. So what happens is, Vinny, the things we go through, the experiences, whether they're good or bad, they stay with us. And the bad ones stay with us the most, because the mind is fear focused and doesn't want us to fail. It doesn't want us to be rejected. It doesn't want us to look bad. And so those things stay with us. And unless we understand how they're like running our lives and running our mind, we're not going to break free. And every day is going to feel like a repeat of the last day. It's because our patterns are wired, and the mind runs on loops, on automated systems. The mind is constantly trying to conserve energy, because the brain is the most energy taxing organ in the body. And as a survival mechanism, our ancestors didn't have a lot of food. So they couldn't
Yeah.
spend a lot of time thinking about things. Everything just became automated. And that's why time goes by and people don't change very much, or they keep struggling with the same areas, or they keep attracting the same people and the same problems. It's all because
Yeah.
of how the mind is wired in these automated patterns that run us. So once I uncovered that, once I broke free and understood how I'm wired and how the human mind works, I was able to start moving forward with velocity. So I was able to finally launch a business. And since then, I've launched numerous businesses. So I started doing the work in like mid 2000s. I was in my early 30s back then. Now I've launched numerous businesses and made them successful. Now I'm a best-selling author and I'm inspired to coach people, like I said, to pay these things forward, both in terms of the consistency and the discipline, but not only that, not only the grit, but also teaching them how to be aligned with their
Yeah.
selves and let go of an old identity that doesn't serve them anymore and step into their future self, an empowering identity that's going to pull them. Instead of having to use grit and willpower to push away from our problems, we get pulled by the inspiration of who we say we want to be.
I love that. Love that. It's fabulous. Let me ask you a question. Like, what are three things one can do to leave the past in the dust? I always say that you can't change last 30 seconds, even 1 second, whatever happens. So how does the brain, what can we do to get us delinked and then look into present and future?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. I think it's a valuable one. So I think first of all, Vinny, it starts with doing inner work. Like I said, you have to understand what you went through. And we all go through some kind of trauma, some kind of emotional wound that is developed when we're children. This is just part of human psychology. It's how we're wired. And a lot of times we don't know what it is because if it's not something massive, some people truly do deal with m- real
Very traumatic, trauma,
yeah,
big
trauma,
trauma. Yeah.
abuse, death, like just really bad things, and that's more
Yeah.
obvious. But what's not obvious is how that changed your personality when it happened. Or it could be a very minor thing. I have clients who can't even identify some kind of major thing that happened to them, but there was
Hmm.
just maybe one comment that was said once by one
Yeah.
of their parents or by a classmate, and it stayed with them. It was a strong emotion that they felt, and it stayed with them. Anytime
Yeah.
we feel strong emotion, it stays with us. So, for example, if I were to ask you, do you remember what you were doing on 9/11? You'd probably say yes. Ask you what you were doing the day before, you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't remember. The
Yeah.
difference, one had very strong emotion tied to it. And that creates neural connections in the mind. The brain actually changes when we have
Yeah.
strong emotion and it stays with us. It's in our body, it's in our nervous system. So we have to go back and let go of and heal anything that's still keeping us trapped. Like they call it blind spots around the things we went through. So once we release that, that's step one.
Yeah.
Step two is just to get more and more present in terms of your interpretations of things. Because, like you said, things happen. We can't control them, but we can
Yeah.
control how we react to them and how we interpret them and the meanings we make around them. So, when we're making a meaning about, and it's not serving us, we have to get present to that. And what ties into that is like limiting beliefs. And that's one of the chapters
Hmm.
in my book. Can I show real quick?
Hmm. Please
So, yeah,
do.
my
Yeah.
book is
The
called
nine shifts.
The Nine
Love
Shifts.
that. Love
Yeah,
that.
nine
Love
shift,
that.
the
Hmm.
mind-body method to transform your body and your life. And so
Hmm.
it's really a manual for how to be our best in all areas. And one of the things I talk about is how limiting beliefs drive us.
Yeah.
One part of it, like what do you believe about yourself? There's some kind of self-worth that you're worried about. You're constantly seeking acceptance and approval. That's all the trauma-based work. That's step one.
Yeah.
Step two is to clean up any limiting beliefs you have now. So, for example, if you've tried something and you failed, now you might start thinking, oh, it's too hard or it's not
Hmm.
possible, or it's not for me, or I'm too old, or I'm too broke, or whatever.
Yeah.
These
Yep.
things
Yep.
run our the amount of effort we put in, and then
Yep.
limit. So I would say that's step two. And then step three, I would say just really get good in terms of the habits you're keeping. You
Yeah.
want to empower your mind every morning. You want to do the basic things, the hydration, eating right, fueling your body, nourishing your mind, your body, and your soul. You want to nourish your soul. You want to
Yep.
make sure that you're
Yep.
experiencing joy, you're connecting. You're
Mhm.
just here to experience certain things, love, connection, creativity, self-expression. And if you're not doing that enough because you're working all the time or you're just doing like negative habits like scrolling too much social media or watching too much Netflix, if you're consuming those things, you're
Yeah.
not giving your chance yourself time and space and energy to do the things that are going to keep you at your best. So I'd say it's those three things: work, do the inner work to heal, really get clear on your limiting beliefs and make sure they're not stopping you, whether it's about money or yourself, your goals, whatever, relationships. And then three, keep yourself at a good place. And that's what I talk about also in the book, is the importance of keeping our body at a good place. So for some people, if they work too hard, it manifests as high cholesterol, high blood sugar, body fat, all that. But even if you're not struggling with that, you
Yeah.
may struggle with it in the future, because studies are showing Americans more and more are becoming
Yeah.
diabetic, right?
So
Obesity
true.
hasn't
So
gone down,
true.
it's gone up. And the older we
Yeah.
get, the harder it gets, our metabolism slows as we age. So you want to keep yourself at a great place, because even the way your mind and body are connected. So how you're treating your
Mhm.
body is going to show
Yeah.
up in how your brain functions and how you think and how you perform. And that then translates to success and relationships
Yeah.
and money and all the things we want.
Hi, friends. This is Vinney Chopra from here in Danville, California. And you might be saying, hey, Vinny, what are these over here? You know, I wrote this book a few years back, Apartment Syndication Made Easy. It became top seller. I came from India with $7 in my pocket. It says 500 million. It's going to be 1 billion very soon, very soon. I'm right at about 850, 900 million. And then I'm ready for the next billion. Actually, you will see that happening, 2 billion in this book also. The other book I wrote, which has been a very big positivity, has been my life. Always, I've been married 43 years with 2 children. And the beauty is to be positive, the mindset that can take you to all the places in the world. And that's the book that also became big seller. My third book, Senior Assisted Living, is coming. So do yourself a favor. Go ahead and click the link below to get free copies, audio copies of these books, even printed copies of these books. Printed means digital if you can't afford it. But I would highly recommend for you to get these, or go to Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon. I got it in soft cover, in hardcover, in Kindle, in audio, also the Spanish version of this book also. So let's crush it, guys. I know you can be successful. I know you can do the kind of things that you want to do in life and have the streams of income and know how to really, educate yourself so that you could become a strong force in this world in real estate. I know you can. So take that step. Don't just be on the sideline. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your education.
So true what you're saying. The biggest thing which you are talking about, and we spend so much money in all frivolous things. As we move, we feel this is important, materialistic things are important and whatever, but the biggest temple I call body and soul a temple. A lot of us do go and believe in God or not believe in God, but the thing is we are always looking outside. And if we just take care of ourselves, just like you said, I love miracle morning, getting up in the morning and getting into chanting and reciting and giving gratitude right there, and also realigning myself for the day, for the
Yeah.
day. And then exercising and eating healthy is so important, because we have epidemic in USA with diabetes and dementia. As people are aging now, more and more, 10,000 baby boomers turning 65, dementia, 1 out of 3 will
Yeah.
get memory loss in our lifetime, looks like. I don't know. But
Yeah.
unless we have some medical means to prevent it. So you're so right. It's so important to take care of who we are, because no matter how much bank balance or how many Rolls Royces or aeroplanes anybody can have, it's going to be left behind right here. And that's what I remember. The book Die with Zero was a
Mm.
great book I read, and I asked my followers to also read that. Die with Zero talks about you really take care of your life while you're here in this stage of life, and make memories everywhere, so that
Mm.
you could really leave this small stage of appearance, I call it. In
Mm.
dinosaur years, even if we live to 100 years, it's a dot, literally
Yeah.
a dot, not even a line. So
Yeah.
why are we worried about? So give us some perspective. How do you really think one can change sooner than later? See, the problem is we want to get better mentally, but
Yeah,
then we go back to the old habits.
correct. Correct. And that's what makes change very hard and change very slow. I think for me, I can speak from my experience. When I felt stuck, I sought help. That's really what it is. And since then, I've been on this 20 plus year transformation journey to try to understand myself better, to understand how the human mind works better, to understand what keeps people stuck. And I think don't be afraid to ask for help if it's important to you. I think, first of all, step back and get out of the day to day.
Yeah.
Get out of the day to day. I'm reading a book right now, which is great. It's called Be Your Future Self Now by Benjamin Hardy.
Mm,
He talks about how we go from just what's urgent to the next urgent thing. It's like we
yeah.
just focus on small term fires. That's all we're doing.
Mhm.
We're going from one thing to the next, but we rarely think about the future. We rarely
Yeah.
step out and think. And actually, what I do now, Vinny, is for people to understand my method better. What I've been doing is I've been doing a 5-day one-on-one challenge with them for free,
Hmm.
show them to actually give them a chance to step back and reconnect with their most important goals.
Yeah.
Because people are just pulled by the small fires every day, and before
Yeah.
they know it, look, we're in July, half the year is gone. I can assure the majority of people have not made a lot of progress towards their most important goals.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. It's just the human mind. And these days we're more distracted than ever. We're being
Yep.
pulled in more directions than ever, and we don't have time to step out. So the first thing we do on day one of my challenge is we actually say, okay, let's take a step back and see, where do you want to be 12 months from now? Let's start looking a little bit more future. And again,
Mm.
our ancestors weren't like future planners. They weren't planning for retirement. They were just trying to find food for that day so they can live and survive. So our tendency is just to focus on what's in front of us. But we take a step back on day one and say, okay, where do you want to be in 12 months in these key important areas? Your career, your money, your health, your relationships. Where do you want to be? And we put it down. And I have them write a future
Mhm.
state letter and create a future identity so that they can start being pulled by something inspiring and not just going from day to day to day.
Yeah.
In days 2, 3, and 4, we focus on my 3 pillars from my book. So it's mind, body, and life. And I show them the challenges that these things can pose. So the mind, like I said, we have limiting beliefs. Our motivation goes up and down, or leads to procrastination. Our identity stops. So we have to work on that. The body itself, the metabolism slows, our hormones change over time. We want to make sure that the body itself, we're keeping it in a good place, especially for people whose health is actually been compromised because they've been working hard and not eating right or not taking care of themselves, etc. And then the third pillar is life, making sure things outside of us don't throw us off and hurt our consistency. Traveling, social events, not enough time because of work, conversations that upset us, relationships that trigger us, right? So all those things manage as well. And then on day 5, I give them a plan. Here's what you have to do if you truly want to have the life you want. Because without that kind of almost like intervention, it's like a soft intervention. You're just going to keep being run by the same habits because that's how the mind works. And so somebody to help you step out of that. Einstein has a great quote. He says, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it.
So true.
You're in an outside mind. And that's what I do for folks. That's why I'm inspired to be a coach for people, to lift them up and out of their old patterns so that they can become free. They can break free from the self-doubt, the internal pressure, the perfection, people pleasing, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome. We get rid of all of that.
I love that. Love that. Thank you so much for giving so many gold nuggets. It's amazing, Deekron, what you have accomplished, and congratulations on all those. How can people reach you if you could share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. They can start by looking me up on Amazon. So my book again is called The 9 Shifts.
9 Shifts.
The
Yep.
bestseller in some of the Amazon subcategories. And if people want to reach out to me directly, they can go to my website, which is healthyperformer.com. Or my email address is very easy to remember because I'm one of the only people who have it at Gmail just with my first name.
Okay.
It's Deekron@gmail.com. So it's DEEKRON @gmail.com. So really easy to get in touch with me. And I'm also pretty active on LinkedIn or on Facebook. I think I'm the only one. So if you put in my name, and I put out content all the time on those platforms, so people can get a sense of how I work, the problems I solve, how my clients are overcoming their challenges, things like that.
I love that. Love that. Thank you so much for taking time of your busy schedule to be on my show. And we would love to share with everybody, in your circle and mind, so that people can really reach out to you and really take care of like you said, the mind, the body, and the life. That's so important. Thanks again. And I really appreciate taking the time out.
Thank you too, Vinney. Yeah, happy to spread the word about you, the positivity
Yeah.
you're spreading, the wisdom you're
Thank
teaching.
you.
So
Thank you. Thank
help
you
each
so
other
much.
Dear friends, this is Vinney Chopra. I am so glad you're listening to the episode. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Please share it with others who can really benefit also. Can I ask you a favor? Just a small favor. Less than a minute, if you could give 5-star reviews on iTunes or Stitcher, that'll go a long way. We are one of the top podcasts in real estate now in the nation, but it will really help a lot if you gave 5-star reviews, and we'll bring a lot more great content for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, and see you in the next episode. God bless you. Bye-bye. Wow, what an incredible conversation today. I hope you got tons of value from this episode. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on social media to stay updated on all the things real estate, investing, abundance mindset, and wealth creation. If you're an accredited investor looking for exclusive investment opportunities, be sure to join our elite Monil Investors Club at vinneychopra.com/invest, where we share details of our future projects. Quick disclaimer, we are not selling any securities, and this podcast is strictly for educational and information purposes only. The opinions shared by our guests are their own and should not be considered financial or investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, keep smiling, keep investing, and keep making a massive impact. God bless you.
Be sure to listen to Mr. Smiles next week with more golden nuggets and top-notch coaching tips. You can reach him by going to vinneychopra.com. Be sure to like, comment, and share to show everyone how Mr. Smiles has brought your apartment syndication business to the next level.